Have we ever taken a moment to reflect on how some everyday habits might be quietly diminishing our quality of life? With time, certain behaviors, ones that once felt insignificant, can gradually start to drain our energy, affect our closest relationships, and prevent us from truly experiencing life's fullest potential. Imagine if we could break free from just a few of these habits. Doing so could transform our emotional health, boost our physical well-being, and increase our overall happiness. Today, we're uncovering 7 pivotal habits we need to stop right now to regain control over our lives. These are patterns that might be quietly holding us back in ways we may not have even realized. From how we connect with others to how we view our own health and resilience, these habits impact us in powerful ways. Every one of these steps is designed to help us maximize our golden years, bringing in renewed energy, stronger relationships, and a sense of fulfillment. So let's dive in. Together, we'll explore how making even a few changes can lead to a future filled with wisdom, autonomy, and joy. Our best years could very well be right in front of us. Let's seize them fully. Stay with us and discover how to take those steps forward. 1. One of the most detrimental habits we can adopt is the tendency to accept everything others say without question. How often do we find ourselves nodding in agreement, simply to sidestep potential conflict? This behavior is surprisingly common, especially as we grow older and become more entrenched in social norms. We have been conditioned to equate harmony with compliance, leading us to silence our true feelings in favor of superficial peace. This pattern creeps into our daily lives, turning us into passive participants who fear the discomfort of disagreement. Over time, we might not even realize the extent to which this habit diminishes our self-worth and individuality. Every time we agree with a viewpoint we don't genuinely believe in, we risk eroding our sense of self. It's a subtle yet profound surrender of our autonomy. We often find ourselves saying yes while our hearts are screaming no. With each forced affirmation, we relinquish a fragment of our identity. This can create a disconnect between who we are and how we present ourselves to the world. We may become increasingly unsure of our own thoughts and beliefs, feeling like mere shadows of our authentic selves. As this pattern continues, we may end up living in a reality that doesn't truly reflect our values or desires. Our voices carry immense power. Each opinion we express is shaped by a lifetime of experiences, lessons, and insights. When we silence ourselves, we negate the richness that comes from our unique journeys. Our perspectives contribute to a broader conversation, adding depth and nuance that may otherwise be missing. It is crucial to recognize that our insights matter. They deserve to be shared and respected. By asserting our beliefs, we do more than just express our thoughts. We also reclaim our sense of belonging in discussions, reinforcing our identity in the process. Embracing our authentic selves requires us to stay true to our beliefs, even when faced with opposition. This act of courage can be transformative. By openly sharing our thoughts, we shift our interactions from passive agreement to active engagement. We cultivate the ability to express disagreement with respect and clarity, paving the way for deeper connections and mutual understanding. Healthy dialogue challenges us to think critically and articulate our viewpoints. In doing so, we not only strengthen our sense of self, but also invite others to engage with their own beliefs, creating a richer and more inclusive environment for discussion. Let's make a conscious effort to break free from the habit of blind acceptance. This journey begins with small, intentional steps, asking questions, seeking clarity, and asserting our right to express dissent. Each time we stand firm in our beliefs, we reclaim a piece of ourselves that may have been lost in the chaos of conformity. The path toward authenticity may be fraught with discomfort, but it is undeniably essential for our personal growth. By nurturing our voices and embracing our individuality, we not only enrich our own lives, but also inspire those around us to do the same. Together, we can foster a culture that values authentic expression, leading to healthier relationships and a deeper understanding of ourselves and each other. Here are 5 practical pieces of advice to help us break the habit of accepting everything others say without question and to cultivate a stronger sense of self-identity. 1. Practice active listening. Engage fully in conversations by actively listening to what others say without immediately formulating your response. This allows us to understand their perspectives better and gives us the space to reflect on whether we agree or disagree. By asking open-ended questions, we encourage deeper dialogue and can express our thoughts more clearly. 2. Reflect on your values. Take time to identify and articulate your core values and beliefs. Journaling can be a helpful tool for this process. When we have a clear understanding of what matters to us, we are better equipped to assert our opinions. Regularly revisiting these values helps strengthen our sense of self and provides a framework for evaluating others' viewpoints. 3. Start small with assertiveness. Begin asserting your opinions in low-stakes situations. Practice saying no or expressing disagreement in everyday conversations, such as with friends or family. This could be as simple as voicing a different preference or suggesting an alternative plan. Gradually building our assertiveness in small settings prepares us for more significant discussions where our beliefs may be challenged. Picture Sarah, a woman who has always been the peacekeeper in her circle of friends and family. She's warm and accommodating, the kind of person who rarely voices disagreement, thinking that maintaining harmony is more important than voicing her own opinions. But recently, she's felt an internal tension, a sense that her own voice is often drowned out by the opinions and needs of those around her. It's not that she's unhappy. She just feels she's been living in the background, blending into the needs and desires of others, rather than standing in her own light. One evening, she decides it's time to make a change. She starts small, thinking about how she can gently practice expressing her own views in low-stakes situations. Sarah realizes that she doesn't have to overhaul her personality overnight or dive headfirst into challenging confrontations. Instead, she'll begin with minor adjustments in her daily interactions, just enough to allow her voice to be heard without feeling overwhelmed. The next day, Sarah meets her friend Lisa for coffee. When Lisa suggests going to their usual cafe, Sarah feels that familiar instinct to nod and agree, even though she'd actually prefer a new place she's been wanting to try. She takes a deep breath and says, "Actually, how about we try that new place on Oak Street? I've been wanting to see what it's like." Lisa is surprised but agreeable, and they end up at the new cafe, where they enjoy a fresh setting and new conversation. This tiny act of suggesting an alternative plan fills Sarah with a quiet thrill. It's such a small decision, but for the first time in a long time, Sarah feels the satisfaction of following her own preference. Encouraged, Sarah decides to build on this momentum. She tries a similar approach with her family during their weekly dinner, a time when she's usually content to let others decide on the meal and activities. When her brother mentions watching a movie she isn't interested in, Sarah finds herself saying, "I'm not really in the mood for that tonight. What if we watched something we can all get into?" To her surprise, her family is receptive. In that moment, Sarah realizes that sometimes people aren't even aware she has different preferences because she's always deferred to others without question. Her family adjusts easily, and they enjoy a movie that suits everyone's mood, leaving Sarah feeling understood in a way she hadn't expected. These small steps give Sarah the courage to extend her assertiveness in other areas. When a friend asks her to help with a project over the weekend, she pauses instead of immediately agreeing. She knows she needs the weekend to recharge, so instead of committing right away, she says, "I would love to help another time, but I really need a break this weekend." It feels foreign and even a bit uncomfortable at first, but her friend respects her answer. For once, Sarah puts her needs ahead of her urge to please, and the experience leaves her with a deeper sense of self-respect. With each small instance, Sarah learns that assertiveness doesn't have to be loud or combative. It's about showing up honestly, letting others see her authentic self without the pressure of pretending to be someone she's not. This gradual practice of saying no or expressing her preferences gently but clearly allows her to feel stronger in her own skin. Then comes a day when Sarah is presented with a bigger challenge. At work, her team is discussing a new project strategy that everyone seems excited about, but Sarah has reservations. She sees potential flaws that could impact the project's success. In the past, she would have kept quiet, not wanting to disrupt the enthusiasm of her team. But now, after all these smaller moments of practice, she knows she can voice her opinion in a constructive way. She raises her hand and says, "I think the strategy could work, but I also have some concerns about certain aspects that might need refining." Her colleagues pause and listen, and the team leader thanks her for the insight, asking her to elaborate. It's a pivotal moment for Sarah, who realizes that expressing her thoughts isn't just about her. It's about contributing to the group's success. Her voice carries value, and her input helps steer the project in a better direction. Over time, these gradual steps build Sarah's confidence. She no longer feels the need to agree simply for the sake of harmony. She can still be the warm, caring person she's always been, while staying true to herself. Through each low-stakes moment of assertiveness, she's cultivated a quiet strength that allows her to stand her ground when it truly matters. And this journey, which started with something as simple as suggesting a different cafe, has given Sarah not only a voice, but a sense of wholeness she hadn't known she was missing. 4. Cultivate a growth mindset. Embrace the idea that it's okay to have differing opinions, and that disagreement can lead to growth and understanding. Viewing discussions as opportunities for learning rather than conflicts to be avoided helps us feel more comfortable expressing our thoughts. Remind ourselves that differing viewpoints can enrich conversations and strengthen relationships. 5. Surround yourself with supportive people. Build a community of individuals who respect and encourage open dialogue. Seek out friends, family members, or groups that value authenticity and are willing to engage in constructive conversations. When we surround ourselves with supportive people, we feel more empowered to express our beliefs and challenge ideas without fear of judgment. The second habit to shift is honoring our physical and emotional limits instead of seeing them as signs of weakness. Many of us have grown up with the notion that strength means pushing through discomfort or fatigue, and that asking for a break might be perceived as a lack of resilience. But with time, our limits evolve, and learning to respect these changes shows true wisdom. When we ignore our body's signals, we risk not only burnout, but also lasting harm. Acknowledging where we need rest and recognizing when to seek support is a strength in itself. By understanding our boundaries, we are choosing a healthier, more sustainable way of living that nurtures us in the long term. Accepting our limits allows us to move through life more gracefully, adapting to changes with compassion. Just as our bodies shift with age, our emotional needs also change. And ignoring these realities only heightens the risk of exhaustion. Embracing these limits is not a concession. It's an act of self-respect. When we respect the body that has carried us this far, We give ourselves permission to slow down when needed, to take the time to heal, and to prioritize our well-being. By doing so, we prevent harm and instead cultivate a life filled with balance and vitality. A life where we're free to pursue joy without wearing ourselves thin. This shift is ultimately about valuing our well-being and preserving our energy for the experiences and relationships that bring true fulfillment. Choosing self-care over relentless pushing forward allows us to engage with life more fully. We can pursue what we love without depleting ourselves or sacrificing our health. When we let go of the fear that setting boundaries shows weakness, we gain freedom and resilience. We find that true strength lies in knowing when to pause, when to recharge, and when to allow ourselves to rest. By embracing this stage with intention and respect, we create a life filled with peace, energy, and a deeper appreciation for every moment. So let's reach out and break the habit of isolation. Connection brings fulfillment and peace, often closer than we realize. By opening ourselves to others, we create bonds that bring joy and enrich our lives. We're never truly alone if we stay connected. Each interaction, however brief, fills our lives with the warmth of togetherness. One of the most important habits to change is neglecting our physical health, especially if we think it's too late to start. This mindset can hold us back, keeping us from living life to its fullest as we grow older. The truth is, no matter our age, 60s, 70s, or beyond, we can always begin caring for our bodies. We're never past the point of making a difference in our health. Small changes can lead to big impacts. Simple steps like taking a daily walk, stretching in the morning, or eating more nourishing foods build strength and vitality over time. These small actions, repeated, have the power to improve our energy, mobility, and overall well-being. When we choose health, we break free from the limits we set for ourselves. Taking care of ourselves is a declaration. We are worth it, and life still has much to offer. Prioritizing health not only strengthens our bodies, but also boosts our confidence and lifts our spirits. When we feel energized, we're more engaged with the world, more connected to others, and more alive. Embracing this journey of self-care opens the door to a richer, more fulfilling life at any age. The fourth habit we need to release is the tendency to live in the past. Memories are treasures, filled with warmth and meaning, and it's natural to look back on them with fondness. Yet, when we linger too long in the past, we can end up depriving ourselves of the present. Dwelling on past experiences, even joyful ones, can act like a weight, subtly keeping us from moving forward. This attachment to what was can make it difficult to see the beauty and potential in what is right in front of us. Our minds may wander to what's familiar, but our energy belongs in the here and now. Many of us carry the belief that our best days are behind us, that the excitement and growth we once experienced are things of the past. We've all heard someone say, "Those were the days," as if the peak of our lives has already been reached. But this mindset is a limiting one, casting a shadow over the potential of today. If we cling too tightly to the golden moments of yesterday, we might fail to notice the wonders of today, which can be just as enriching. Life has an incredible way of offering us new pathways to happiness, but we have to be willing to walk those paths instead of circling the memories that no longer serve us. To live in the present is to step into a world of untapped potential each day. We might be tempted to think that what lies ahead cannot match the richness of our past experiences. Yet every sunrise brings with it a chance to make new memories and connections. When we approach each day with an open mind and heart, we allow ourselves to see the beauty in the unexpected, to discover new passions, and to cultivate relationships that can enrich our lives. This openness to the present moment invites growth, And with that growth comes a sense of fulfillment that no memory can replace. Let's turn the page, knowing that life is meant to be a continuous journey, not a chapter we've already closed. By releasing our hold on the past, we create space for what's to come. Each moment holds an invitation to learn, love, and thrive in ways we may not have imagined. The next chapter is unwritten, full of possibility, and waiting for us to embrace it. Life is not just about cherishing what once was, but also about embracing the wonders that each new day brings. The fifth habit to let go of is sacrificing our happiness for others. Many of us, especially those who have spent a lifetime caring for others, may feel that putting ourselves last is simply part of our purpose. We've been there for family, friends, and colleagues, often without thinking twice. But when we continually place everyone else's needs before our own, we lose ourselves along the way. Others may begin to take this for granted, perhaps even expecting us to give without recognizing the toll it takes. And over time, this quiet sacrifice erodes our sense of self, leaving us drained and undervalued. It's time to recognize that our happiness is as important as anyone else's. Choosing to prioritize our well-being is not selfish. It's vital. We have poured so much of ourselves into others, yet now it's okay, even necessary, to shift focus toward what brings us joy and fulfillment. Self-care allows us to rejuvenate not only for our own good, but for the benefit of those around us. When we thrive, we can give more freely and meaningfully, without resentment or fatigue. It's important to realize that our life is precious, and we deserve the same compassion we so readily give others. By reclaiming our time, setting boundaries, and valuing our own needs, we are honoring our worth. This change is about more than just new habits. It's a journey of rediscovery. We're stepping into a life filled with purpose and joy, where we no longer just go through the motions, but actively choose to live fully. Breaking free from constant sacrifice means releasing expectations and guilt, allowing ourselves to find happiness in our own pursuits. Whether it's taking that long-dreamed-of trip, immersing ourselves in hobbies we've neglected, or simply resting without guilt, this is the freedom we deserve. We are not machines meant to serve others indefinitely. We are human beings worthy of love, peace, and fulfillment. In this new chapter, an honest truth emerges: enough is enough. While giving to others is a beautiful quality, doing so without reciprocation can lead to exhaustion and bitterness. We might see those around us continuing on, taking and expecting, without recognizing our own needs. This moment of clarity, the realization that our happiness matters, is both liberating and essential. We must allow others to carry their own weight, to grow through their own challenges, while we take care of ourselves. This shift is not selfish, but a necessary act of self-respect. The sixth essential habit to break is isolating ourselves socially. As we age, it's tempting to pull back, to stay home, to let friendships drift. But isolation doesn't just create silence, it steals connection, joy, and purpose. Studies show that prolonged isolation harms our health, increasing the risk of heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. We are social creatures, meant to share life, exchange ideas, and feel together. Our relationships are more than mere companionship. They ground us, support us, and make us feel understood. Human interaction is essential. It keeps our minds active, our spirits bright, and our perspectives open. When we withdraw, we lose the chance to be part of these life-giving exchanges. Our wisdom, stories, and laughter are gifts meant to be shared, not locked away. Choosing isolation denies us and others the warmth of connection. It may seem easier to retreat, especially when energy wanes or health issues arise. Solitude has its comforts, but too much leads to disconnect and loneliness. When we isolate, we risk losing touch with not only others but ourselves. Our value doesn't fade with age. We still have much to offer. Every conversation, however small, brings meaning and light into our lives and the lives of others. Reconnecting doesn't have to be complicated. A simple call, a walk with a friend, or joining a local group can bring joy back into our lives. These moments of shared experience help us feel grounded and part of something bigger. Whether through volunteering, attending gatherings, or even small chats, staying socially active is a gift to ourselves. The seventh habit worth rethinking is avoiding intimacy simply because of age. Physical closeness and sexuality don't have an expiration date. They're lifelong ways of connecting deeply and experiencing comfort, companionship, and joy. Society often sends the message that intimacy is only for the young, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, as we grow older, connection and touch can take on even deeper meanings, extending beyond physicality to strengthen bonds and bring shared solace. Physical changes are natural and don't lessen the value of intimacy. Instead, they encourage us to explore new and meaningful ways to connect. Embracing intimacy as we age isn't just possible. It's an opportunity to experience the richness of connection with wisdom and a renewed appreciation for the moment. Turning away from intimacy also means forfeiting numerous health benefits that come from physical closeness. When we engage in intimacy, our bodies release feel-good hormones like oxytocin and endorphins, which naturally reduce stress, lift our mood, and enhance emotional resilience. Research shows that touch and physical closeness don't just nurture bonds, they also have profound effects on our health. These connections can strengthen our immune systems, support heart health, and contribute to our mental and emotional well-being. Desire and intimacy, too, are not limited by age. They grow with us, adapting to our evolving needs and allowing us to experience comfort, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Each of us embarks on a unique journey through intimacy, finding ways that feel natural, fulfilling, and aligned with who we are now. When we let go of societal expectations around intimacy, we free ourselves to experience this part of life fully, embracing the warmth, depth, and joy it brings, enriching our lives in every season. In exploring these changes, we begin to see how certain beliefs, though often ingrained and well-meaning, can become roadblocks to a fuller, more joyous life. Aging, after all, isn't about giving up or narrowing our experiences. It's an invitation to discover new freedoms and expand our focus on what truly matters to us. By releasing habits and ideas that no longer serve our well-being, we reclaim the power to shape this stage of life with greater intention and authenticity. Aging brings with it remarkable opportunities for growth, connection, and inner peace. An invitation to lean into the wisdom we've earned and move forward with self-compassion. Each day opens the door to prioritize joy, nurture connections, and celebrate the authenticity we've cultivated. This season of life offers a chance to live more richly, to savor each moment, and to find gratitude in the unique gifts and wisdom that come with age. Embrace it fully, welcoming each day as an opportunity to live intentionally and love deeply, taking pleasure in the journey that continues to unfold. As we bring this crucial message to a close, let's remember, our bodies often speak to us in whispers before they ever shout. Unexplained, persistent itching in these areas isn't something to brush off, and listening to these early signals could make a real difference in our long-term health and well-being. If you or someone close to you has experienced this type of itching, take a moment to reflect on it. It could be your body's way of alerting you to deeper health issues that need attention. We'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or any similar stories in the comments below. Your insights could help others recognize the importance of staying alert to these kinds of subtle changes in their own bodies. And if you found this video helpful or insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support allows us to keep creating valuable content to keep you informed and proactive in your health journey. Stay vigilant, stay connected, and above all, stay healthy.